Alright, how's it going, everyone? Hope y'all been having a great Saturday so far. My name is Ward, and today I just want to talk about a recent topic that has come out a few days ago regarding the possibilities of adaptations of Halo and Gears of War being, well, basically Halo and Gears of War being adapted into feature-length films, which is like a little bit of an idea that Zack Snyder has actually brought up, and say, this might actually would be a cool idea and all that jazz, and hey, based on the with recent game adaptations of the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise and the Super Mario Bros. Movie, this is something I would love to see actually come to fruition at some point. And heck, especially like with the Halo series, since way back in 2007, I've always been wondering how they could actually adapt it into a feature length film, despite like the results that we got from that god awful TV series, and which we are not gonna really talk about. But hey, without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into this, shall we? So, for starters, it says that director Zack Snyder has sat down with IGN for a recent interview, and they were like talking about recent movies like that they were saying, oh, what video game adaptations they would like to see, and of course Zack Snyder said that he would like to see an adaptation of Gears of War and Halo. Oh, and this is what he has to say. I mean, he stated saying Gears has always come up in sort of or their circle, and he was a fan of the game, and he has always had an interest in the Halo franchise, and they of course kind of made that, but it was something he had always thought would be very incredible. And these are the projects that Snyder had obviously thought about doing over the years, and he imagined if the opportunity presented itself to him and to helm either of these films, then he would actually jump at the chance. And Snyder had such a slick cinematic visual style that could fit perfectly for these kind of projects. So earlier this year, it was announced that Netflix was developing a live-action Gears of War Gears of War movie with John something in who's writing the script at this point. And there's been no update on the project since then, though. And there have been several attempts over the years to get a film adaptation this game series. So both Dave and Terry have expressed their desires to star in the film. And as for Halo, the Paramount Plus series was a huge disappointment, which I could definitely agree with that. And Halo could seriously make an epic film series, and it's so crazy to me that hasn't happened. And Halo would make one hell of a cinematic event if it was done right, and hopefully one day someone will actually do it right. I've been hoping for the same thing as well because as a Halo fan myself, I've always wanted to see how they could actually adapt it into a feature-length film series. And I remember that Peter Jackson tried to make an attempt to do that. Like, he was also the guy who made the Lord of the Rings films, and also seen in some of the live action in advertisements that are used to promote the launch of the games, such as ranging from since way back in Halo 3, either they had had one of the scenes where they had the ODSTs find the brutes, which was supposed to happen during the events, and that basically was like the start of Halo, basically the start of Halo 3, where they have Chief Eve leaving the 400 Dreadnought on midair and so on, and then also, and man, like even like in the live action in commercial for Halo 3 ODST, that was actually spot on back then, and also Halo Reach, each were man, I gotta say they were pretty spot on and and yes, even though for the Halo 4 Up to Dawn series, even though that it wasn't really in that spectacular, just looking back at it, and it was actually pretty decent. And this kind of like did show that there's a lot of potentials for live action adaptations for the Halo franchise. And and man, I remember way back when I used to get really excited when they first announced the Halo TV series back in 2013, and say it was going to be directed by Steven Spielberg. Back when they first revealed the Xbox One way back then, I was like super excited, and then and man, boy, we all know how that turned out. what it was an absolute dumpster fire. and and just like guys say, the possibilities are endless, and hopefully one day we could actually see that come to fruition at some point in the future. And because like I said before, like with the way they adapted the Sonic the Hedgehog series into 2 feature-length films and just took advantage of the source material, well, it was like, wow, it was actually pretty good. And moving on with the recent adaptation of the Mario movie, it was fun to watch, like from start to finish. And both of those franchises, like both the adaptations of those two franchises, really took advantage of the source material pretty well versus the Halo TV series, where like the writers of the Halo TV series, they did not even bother looking into the source material. Like, didn't even play any of the games or read any of the novels. I was like, come on, there's like so many books in the series. It's like dozens of books for the Halo franchise that they can actually look into and actually reference from. But no, they say, look, no, we're going to want to make our own fan fiction and just make Chief a like watered down Master Chief and make him a total whining, such a whiny beta male, and just kill him off in the last episode and have Cortana take over his body, well, taking over his armor, and so that way he's basically just like an animated corpse, which in my opinion was like, it was pretty stupid. And just man, just even like talking about it kind of makes me want to throw up at this point. And but so yeah, that's going to be it for today's video, guys. And if you found this video to be very informative and helpful, then be sure to drop a like as always, subscribe for more content like this, and hit the bell to be notified whenever my next video is going to drop. And if you got your own thoughts or opinions based on the possibilities of seeing a live action adaptation of the Halo and Gears of War franchise, then go ahead and sound in the comment section below and just like, get your thoughts out, and would it actually work or would it not work? What kind of source material do you want them to actually reference it from, or what would you actually do if you were to adapt any of those two franchises into a feature-length film? Go ahead and sound off in the comment section below, and we can also get a discussion going. And I would love to hear your thoughts on this, guys. And once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you all in the next one.